Like most people, I learn best from the stories of others, listening to their stories of their experiences, their faith, their successes, and their failures. These stories remind me what it means to be a light to the world and to be a person who follows after Christ. To embody Matthew 5:14 and 15, when it says, "You are the light of the world, like a city on the hilltop that cannot be hidden. No one lights a lamp and puts it under a basket. Instead, it's placed on the table for the whole household to use." Church family, we as Christians are called to be a light to the world and our community, to neighbor well. And the only way we can do that is to get to know our neighbors better. As we get to know our neighbors, here are a few considerations that we might think through as we seek to know our community better and how to serve them well. First and foremost, we need to remember that faith is meant for everyone. It is not bound to one particular set of people or one particular set of people who have one particular thought. It is not bound to one denomination or really anything that can hold it captive. Instead, faith is meant for truly every single person. Every person like you, every person like me, and every person who's different than you and I are. With that in mind, we need to realize that we live in a global society, a society filled with people who view things very different than ourselves. And as we seek to be a light in the world, that is really important to know and acknowledge, because it helps us prepare for, number one, how do we pray to have the eyes of God, to be able to see people the way that God sees them. It helps us to know that we will be uncomfortable, that comfort is a luxury, but instead we are called to take flexibility a step farther and to be fluid, to let ourselves be fluid in the moment so that God can use us better. It means that we have to learn to see the least of these as not lesser than or different than ourselves, but truly to see the least of these as one of our own. So that when we refer to them, we're not saying them or those others, but that we're truly talking about ourselves as a whole. It's important that as we do that we listen to the voices that are different than ourselves, that we listen and we watch and we learn all things that voices different than ourselves can teach us. And lastly, as we think through what it means to get to know our neighbors and to be a light to our community, that when the time comes, and it will come, that we will be willing and intentional with including those neighbors as our family, as our friends, and as part of our community. Friends, it is my prayer and my hope that when people encounter SLBC members, that they will be able to say with confidence, "Many have preached Jesus to me. Many have taught Jesus to me, but at Sugar Land Baptist Church, I have truly seen Jesus Christ." In the next few weeks, as we continue on with our Habits for the Home, we encourage you to tune in to catch the long versions of these series on our YouTube channel and listen in as we try to grow our faith and encounter God in new ways.